Hi, I'm Luke Shearveld. Welcome to another episode of Meet the Gaffer. I'm here with Hedley Standwell, and we're going to take a first look at the new Kinoflo Freestyle Air. It's a unit. This is one of them. This is the max size. So it comes in three different sizes. Comes in a mini, a standard, and the max. And it's, basically Kinoflo's take on matte lights. Not flexible lights, these are rigid, but they're similar form factor to what's already out there. But this is in the Kino line of the Freestyle units. So if you're familiar at all, this is a Freestyle 31, has a translucent front to it, and then this is a hard honeycomb, the Kino back. And it comes with, doors and all that, but I mostly use them like this, and often as backlights or as, side to side or on either side of like a white or a green screen. And so if you're used to that, then the standard size is quite similar to this, a little bit larger face. And then this max is larger still. It's getting towards sort of the face size of an 850 Celeb, but you're going to be using the exact same controllers as you've used with all the other Freestyle units, and so you're only going to get this output, which is, I guess, in the 150 watt range. So that's sort of a downside in the sense that you're not going to get necessarily more output than you have with your current Freestyle units, but this doesn't have a translucent front, so you can put any front you want on it. And let me just turn that around a little bit. So there's all your emitters. But the plus side is you'll be using a very familiar interface. You've got built-in lumen radio, and because you've got this unit, you know that you have full color in here. So it's not just bicolor or bicolor with green magenta. No, you've got access to full color. And for me, this works out great because I never got into light mats. I got into Aladdin's for a while. I got into some other flex lights. I've used, like the Amaran 2x2 more recently, but I never got hard mats. And so, that makes me somewhat of an oddity, but I've made it through. And here now, this is like perfect for me because it fits into a system that I've already got quite a number of units going already. And I can just swap these in, and I could just pick up the heads. And I did purchase these myself. I could just pick up the heads and incorporate them in. I didn't have to buy all new controllers because I won't necessarily be using, probably mix and match, but not necessarily all at the same time. So the beauty of working on smaller sets. This is a first look at it. The fronts are not yet available, but the similar form factor, there are probably soft boxes out there already that would be a close fit. And when the soft boxes do come out for this in a month or so, they will fit on other units from other manufacturers, I believe, which is a nice touch. What you've got is, hard plastic, sort of a Coroplast in a sense, Velcro all around, and then a place for your regular plate that you're used to, either this type or this type. And then you just have your head lead and you go into a head cable. So yeah, there's really nothing to it in that sense. And then these are all individual strips, and these, what are called platens, they can, you can take out this top rail, and these can actually be pulled out individually and replaced in the field if needed. So sort of down the road, it's nice to know that you have the ability to maintain a unit like this and it gives the unit longevity. Now, I've had these Freestyle Kinos for quite a number of years already as well. A number of updates have happened, and they just keep on working. So there is something to be said for something that you can hold on to a little bit longer than these days with LEDs. Everything goes quite quickly. Not into the dumper necessarily, but I mean, you can sell it off and get the new thing. These stick around for a while. So it's kind of like Astera tubes. You keep updating them and hey, they're working for you. So similar here, that's pretty nice. Kinoflo was a little slow to the party in the sense of tubes, but when they came out with something, it fits really well and does exactly what you want it to do. So something to be said about taking the slow road and doing a good final product. So now if we aim the unit towards the grate of the fireplace, and I have it on fire effect. So now this is fire number 22, color temp 25K, and then it's a fire pit, not gas fire, just fire pit, and a rate of 60. And so you've just got different lights that are pulsing to make your fire flame effect. And what's fun about this is every once in a while there's flashes, like an actual little flare up or whatever. I do enjoy these. And then what was kind of fun is this is in sort of the CCT range, and if you then change, so on blackout, I can just set up another channel with this same unit, but at a different profile. So then if I go into here and change my profile to, and change my address, so I'll go to 101 on my address. Now that turns that off. And then I'll change to a different profile. So here I'm in profile 22, and I'll go to profile 16. So that's HSI and 16-bit. It takes 8 channels. We've got that in, and now I'll go, so we'll get off of that guy and back onto this guy, and now we'll just start that up. And we've got, now I'm in HSI, I happen to be on green already in here. Oh, I think what happened last time was I was in this configuration and I went to the fire effects, and all of a sudden I had colors in the fire effects. So actually let's give that a shot, see if that works. So I'm here, I'm in a green, and if I go to menu, down to DMX, change 201, and then go to fire at 22, and there I'm in 22, and is that changing? I'm in the fire effect, I'm in 201, and it's staying green. Okay, so if I take it down, okay, now I don't have control. Perfect. All right, so how did I lose control? 22, 201, no, I should have control, but I don't. Okay, so then I'd have to go to wireless, unlink, there's unlinked, then I'd go to hit my transmitter, and really, I should come back to it. If I go to that one, okay, so there I'm back at my fire. All right, okay. And then I can take that out. Yep. All right, so yeah, sometimes you have to play with it a little bit, but yeah. All right, so what I wanted to do didn't work that quickly, but it is fairly easy to change profiles. Sometimes you have to, click buttons to get it to take. And now this might be too bright for the video, so let's take it down to the bare nubbins. So that's 2%. Well, there's your fire. And, you know, you have that ability to bring it right on down and smoothly. So here's just, let's see, this is at 1%. We'll put it at, and slowly bring it up. And it is fire, so it does, and that's just 40%. So anyway, yeah. Now I just wanted to show you what I've got set up here for this little exchange that I've got going with Headley. Headley Stanwell is actually very handy in that I can line up, this is a 3-camera shoot, so it's typical 2-person, 3-camera with the lights on the far side. So it's a cross key from the back, and I call that far side because on the far side of these two folks from the 2-shot, which is typically the wider shot, getting the 2-shot here. It's handy to have Headley, especially when I'm shooting on my own, because it can help me set the frame, set the f-stop, and set the focus. Just to show you what I've got, these are the 2 standards, you know, about half this size, so same length, but not quite as tall. So that's working in here. And then I have another max unit as a fill. Let me just show you these here. So here I've got some black wrap that's just keeping all this spill off of the shade here, so it, you know, doesn't look fake. I've got these rigged, you know, to the ceiling. Got 2 mini speed Cs on left and right, and then just coming down with from a long arm. And then because the fronts aren't available yet, I got some Coroplast, and this is just white, you know, from Home Depot. And then on the unit, there are these little ends for rigging. So you can rig to 4 points, and there are also holes through here for safeties. But I used these holes then to attach the Coroplast on the sides and made it a half round, so that gave the diffusion a way to sort of scoop out from the unit a ways. And then this is just sticky backed Velcro. So it does spill all over the place, and it'll be nice to have the proper fronts, but my DIY approach. And then just a quick breakdown of this particular set that I used for interviewing. We'll take everything out except for my far side key, and then we'll add the 2 practicals, left and right, the Nix bulbs, and then we've got Headley's far side key, and then a bit of fill. That's it. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. There's obviously a lot more I could have said about these units, but I want to get out there in the field, get some real world mileage on them. This was more about setting up the 3 cameras, getting all that to work for some interviews I have coming up. I also put ND in the 2 windows that were in the single shots and kept the ND on with push pins through tape. This rig is no big deal, but I did want to highlight that having duvetine on the inside of the 1x cribbing, when I took it off today after being up for a week, there was no residue, there were no scars, it was still a pristine white.